No, Jim Zeigler just for no vote.
Well, yeah.
We did not intend to interfere with the public resource of a lawnmowing, and I'm sure that as soon as we finish, that they can finish that up very quickly. Any of the media not get the handout? I am here because of receiving 4 complaints in my office from Athens, Alabama, 3 from citizens and 1 from a citizen group, that school officials are using school resources for campaigning in the tax increase referendum coming up Tuesday. The wording of Alabama law is clear. It is illegal for school officials and employees to use public funds, property, or time for, quote, any political activity. This prohibition also applies to all state, county, and city agencies. These laws continue to be openly violated. The Alabama Attorney General declines to enforce this prohibition and defends the misuse of taxpayer resources by school officials in political campaigns. The law is clear. Code of Alabama, section 17-17-5 is entitled Improper Use of State Property, Time, etc. for political activities. No person in the employment of a local school board shall use any local school board funds, property, or time for any political activity. I have tried to get the Alabama Attorney General to enforce this law, and I have failed. We have gone to court in another county on this exact issue, and we failed. Our only recourse now is to inform the voting public that school officials in Athens are using taxpayer resources in campaigning for the Tuesday tax increase referendum. The public has a right to know what the Alabama law plainly says. The public has a right to know that it is being violated. I'd be glad to entertain any intelligent questions.
Can you give us examples on how the school system is using taxpayer dollars to push campaign?
4 things. 1, the school superintendent took advantage of an orientation at the beginning of school to advocate for the tax increase, complete with a PowerPoint presentation with a captive audience of the parents there. This was not a forum. There was no opportunity for the other side to be represented. All of that could have been done and would have been legal, but to have a political forum disguised as the beginning of school orientation for families violates section 17-17-5. 2, vote yes signs on all or virtually all school property. 3, having teachers and school personnel using the students, the children, to take home the message about the vote yes, including a handout. And 4, the superintendent in his official capacity, contacted churches, chambers of commerce, virtually all organizations advocating for a yes vote, not providing the information and promoting a forum of ideas, but simply campaigning for the tax referendum yes vote. That violates 17-17-5. Yes, sir.
Mr. Zeigler, referring to churches, I pastor Athens First Methodist. He was at our church in the Beasley Center, and it was not because he asked to come. It was because we asked to be informed about what was going on in our city school system. So, in reference to that, I just beg to differ.
Yes, sir. Well, did you ask a representative of a vote no to come?
No, sir.
You did not?
I did
not.
not.
There you go. You aided and abetted a violations.
I ask the same as anyone else when there is an issue going on to know what's being said and done, and all people were welcome. And we welcomed opposition and gave them an opportunity to speak.
Well, you're backing up now. You said you did not involve or invite. You did
I
not.
said he did not invite. I asked him to come, and we would give him a place to meet.
Okay, well,
To
I
inform
think
us.
we've answered that. It was not a forum. It was an advocacy for the vote yes. That's exactly what it was. Yes, sir.
Didn't the judge at the Baldwin County case say that educators are allowed to advocate for school policy, and that your assertion that this is a violation of law was thrown out of court, and therefore it is not a violation of law?
He granted a motion by the Attorney General and the attorneys for the Baldwin County School Board members to dismiss our case, and the case was dismissed. In the context of that case, the court ruled against us taxpayers on every issue, every point, every sub-point. It was a complete slam dunk. And I failed in my effort to keep the case on the plain meaning of the law. A sixth grader in the Athens School District could read this and tell you what it means. No person in the employment of any local school board shall use any, A-N-Y, funds, property, or time for any political activity. Why the Attorney General doesn't understand that, why the court didn't understand that, I understand that, and someday we will get this reversed.
Well, hold on now. Okay, you're telling us that
So please don't start your question with hold on now. I had stopped. Now go ahead, but don't say hold on
I'm
now.
with WAFF 48 years. I'm trying to understand this. If the Baldwin County case and a judge ruled one way, and we've all kind of reviewed that case, and then you're telling us that the same sort of thing is happening now, how is this different than the Baldwin County case, and how is a judge going to rule differently?
1774.
This case is not before a judge, it's before the court of public opinion. I do not anticipate that the Athens referendum will be involved in a court case. I could be surprised because there are other lawyers looking at this situation, but I'm here simply to inform the public as to what the law says, the plain meaning of the law, and what happened in Athens. You're right. If we had to take this before the judge who ruled against us in the Baldwin County case, we would lose again. Someday we'll get this right. Wrong. This is wrong.
So, in that essence, why call a press conference if the court has said what they're doing is fine and is fair and is legal? You're not a judge, so who gives you the authority to say that this is wrong if the courts have already said that this is okay?
The First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States gives me that right. I occupy the high office of citizen and taxpayer. That's the highest office in the state of Athens. The Baldwin County case is not final. I have until Friday to appeal it. It is merely a circuit court case, and even if we choose not to appeal it and instead go to the regular session of the legislature to add one more sentence to clear this up once and for all, it is not precedential. It is not a ruling by the Alabama Supreme Court.
If you take it to the legislature and they decide to carry this into a vote, would that prohibit what you're doing now at the courthouse today? Isn't this advocating for politics?
No, you'd have to repeal the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Well, doesn't that apply to the school board as well? The First Amendment? Doesn't that apply to Trey Holiday and the school board?
Oh, in their individual capacity as citizens,
You're here as
yes.
a state tax. You're here as a state representative.
Are you here as an individual?
You use state card to get here.
Sir, I do not have a stake. You're way behind on your information.
You're being paid to by the citizens.
I drove my personal car here. I
Are you on
did
the
not
clock
accept
today?
my state car.
Are you on leave?
I did. I'm in a Toyota Prius
Are you
hybrid.
on the clock today?
I'm not on the clock at all, ever. I'm under a constitutional salary, and I can make a decision that this is in the best interest of the state taxpayers to be here. You're almost funny to me that you're so far out in left field, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I said I would take any intelligent question. I would just.
I have a question.
I'm a veteran, by the way. Thank you.
You ain't the only one.
I am too, buddy.
The court case in Baldwin County, does that regard 1717.5 and 1717.4 or just 1717.5?
Just 1717.5 in that particular case.
So with this, what you've seen with this case, would you say that this is a violation of both 1774 and 1775?
All right, that's a good point. There's another section of Alabama law that's quite clear, 17-17-4, improper use of official authority or position for political activities. Any person who attempts to use his or her official authority for the purpose of influencing the vote or political action of any person shall be guilty upon conviction of a Class C felony. Incidentally, I am here to give what the law of Alabama is and the facts of the 4 complaints that came in. I haven't endorsed a yes vote or a no vote. I don't vote in Athens.
Again, the law said it was okay, and that's where I guess I'm having a disconnect here. You're saying
The law says it's not okay. The Attorney General said it was okay,
and
and
the
he's
judge
full of
said it
mud.
was okay.
No, the judge dismissed our suit. He didn't say it was okay. We never got to the ultimate issue.
Sir, could you just clarify, are you here representing the State Auditor's Office, or are you here representing yourself today?
I am here because my office, I don't know if you were here when I first started, because my office received 4 complaints from Athens, Alabama, asking me to take a look at this. I was able to verify the facts within those complaints, that these uses of the public resources. Now let me say this, there have been no complaints that the Athens school officials utilized public money to buy political ads or political advocacy. In Baldwin County, it was a different situation. Over $250,000 of the public school funds were wasted campaigning for that tax increase, and in the court of public opinion, that was voted down by 63%.
Would you agree that the city has a responsibility, the city school has a responsibility to get the information out to the public? And if they do, how should they do that? What legal means do they have to get the information out to the public? Where did they cross the line?
Of course, as individuals, away from
No, sir.
the
No,
school.
I'm talking about as public officials. Don't they have the responsibility to get the information out to the public about what they intend to do? That's what their intention.
Yes, they do.
And where did they cross the line in your opinion?
Disguising a parent's orientation for the start of school as a vote yes advocacy. That was number 1. Placing the vote yes signs on all the school properties. That was number 2. And the other 2 complaints. Now, I did not think up all these complaints. Citizens like you in Athens sent those to me. I simply verified the facts in them and researched the law that applies to them, and I'm now reporting that to the people. So, oh, where did he go? Did he leave? He asked his question, and then I was giving such a wonderful answer, and he took off. Okay, who's next?
You went getting the shade.
Who's
Hit your
next?
bald head.
My bald head didn't.
My question is, I'm hearing rumor that you don't have permission by the county commission, or do you have a permit to be out here today? Do you want to talk about that?
I called a news briefing, and somehow or another, the word of that spread around, and enough people came that some naysayer could try to say we're having a demonstration. But I think over here we've got as many yes supporters as we do no supporters. But I merely came. Do I have a permit to be here? No, and I don't need.
He needs to answer intelligent questions, okay? Yours is not intelligent.
No,
I'm sorry,
I would like to say something.
What's not intelligent about that?
It is actually not required to have a permit.
What's wrong with that?
I don't think it's intelligent at all.
Thank you.
Your
Yes.
opinion, sir.
Well, I did not know that. I'm not familiar with the Limestone County rules.
Take your toy and go home.
All right. Well, thank
Yeah,
you so
take
very
your marbles
much.
and go home.
If Dubs is still
48's
open,
done loud.
I'm gonna go eat a hamburger. And I wanted to go to Elkmont to the goat cheese Bill Shepherd, but it's closed on Monday. So I'm gonna come back after this election's over, and I'm gonna eat a goat cheese omelet and goat cheesecake in Elkmont.